Look at this demented maniac rotting before our eyes, panicking in public, falling asleep in public. Donald Trump yesterday had just another psychotic meltdown in public. It is humiliating to the United States. First off, his polling is like the lowest ever. The latest Pew poll has Trump at a 37% approval with 61% disapproving. Among Hispanics, his approval is 26%, and among adults 18 to 29-year-olds, his approval is 30%. Now, in the Oval Office yesterday, Donald Trump once again was falling asleep during weird press conferences that he was having. He didn't realize that RFK Jr. was standing right by his side. It was really a sight to behold as he was, again, cognitively and physically deteriorating before our eyes. Then he went to another premiere for the Melania movie that nobody wants to see and nobody's buying tickets for, but Jeff Bezos spent $70 million to fund this atrocity and put it in movie theaters across the country. And then Donald Trump launched a $10 billion lawsuit against his own government. He sued the IRS for $10 billion, claiming they leaked his tax returns years ago and that now his reputation has been harmed. So now he's suing his own Treasury Department, with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is what the defendant, and Pam Bondi is on the defense. So Trump's going to take $10 billion of our taxpayer money to pay himself while the American people are struggling, while the American people can't afford homes and can't afford groceries and can't get a good education and can't get health care because Trump and the MAGA Republicans are ripping away Affordable Care Act and Medicaid from the people. And this is what he's doing. Just look at this demented individual in the Oval Office yesterday, where he doesn't even realize that RFK Jr. is right by his side. Let's play this clip.
Initiative, Catherine Burgham. Thank you both very much. Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Where's Bobby? Bobby? Hello, Bobby. Come here, give me a hand. I love Bobby. You're doing a great job, Catherine. All right.
And then you have Catherine Burgham, Doug Burgham, the Interior Secretary's wife, is giving a speech in the Oval Office, and Donald Trump just starts falling asleep. Play this clip.
These stories matter because they are not isolated. They reflect the reality of the over 190 million Americans. That's half our nation.
And then before Donald Trump went to the Melania premiere, which state regime media called Fox and all these right-wing outlets keep on pushing, Donald Trump sues the IRS for $10 billion, saying that he suffered reputational harm and emotional distress because his tax records were made public. Dude, you're supposed to be the president of the United States. Every other president released their tax records to begin with, first of all. And second of all, if you actually paid them the way you were supposed to pay them, what would you be embarrassed for? Shouldn't it show how rich you were? Or no, maybe you weren't all that rich and maybe you were also avoiding taxes. What, he wasn't paying like $0 in taxes? Total $0 or $750 in taxes. So while you're paying 30, 40+% of your money in taxes, Donald Trump was paying donut hole, $0 or $750. So that was exposed. But if you were so rich, don't you want people to see your tax returns? And then also, shouldn't you be making these public like every other president to begin with? Anyway, I digress. So he sues the IRS for $10 billion. And then also, can we check in on how his other sycophants are doing? Did you see this video right here of Marco Rubio, Donald Trump's Secretary of State? I did a whole video of the brutal cross-examination on Rubio during the Senate hearing. But you notice it seemed like he was like popping pills or something? He kept on putting things in his mouth while he was drinking water. Many suspected he was, you judge for yourself what he's doing. Play this clip.
My vote to a great start and very profitable visit. Hope to debrief you in it soon, if I might. By the way, I think if we were to pick an MVP of the West Wing, Secretary Rubio, my vote.
Right now, I'm checking in on warmonger Lindsey Graham. Journalist Patrick Hawley asked the following question to Lindsey Graham. Let's play it.
Hey, Lindsey, why don't you just admit that you're gay and then people won't blackmail you anymore?
And then before Donald Trump went to the Melania premiere last night, here's what he posted. Based on the fact that Canada has wrongfully and illegally and steadfastly refused to certify the Gulfstream 500, 600, 700, and 800 jets, one of the greatest, most technologically advanced airplanes ever made, we are hereby decertifying the Bombardier Global Express and all aircraft made in Canada until such time as Gulfstream, a great American company, is fully certified as it should have been many years ago. Further, Canada is effectively prohibiting the sale of Gulfstream products in Canada through this very same certification process. If for any reason this situation is not immediately corrected, I'm going to charge Canada a 50% tariff on any and all aircraft sold into the United States of America. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So is that 50% on top of the 100% you threatened to impose on Canada if they go forward with their trade pact with China, which you previously said you were okay with, then you woke up in one of your psychotic meltdowns, said you're not okay with? Also, as the OSINT defender points out, so Donald Trump is announcing that the FAA will be decertifying the Bombardier Global Express and all other aircraft made in Canada. But what about the Bombardier E-11A Battlefield airborne communication nodes? Or what about the U.S. Army's Global 6500s, which are produced by Bombardier Defense in Canada? And the E-11As are produced and they were deployed to the Middle East right now in the ongoing buildup for Trump's planned invasion of Iran. Also, Donald Trump was asked at the Melania movie, what do you think about the UK getting into business with China? Because Prime Minister Keir Starmer took a big trip to China the same way and met with Xi Jinping, the same way Prime Minister Carney did about 3 to 4 weeks back. Donald Trump says if Canada makes a deal with China, they will not be allowed to play ice hockey games anymore. Ice hockey, Donald. Yeah, Canada's not going to be able to play ice hockey, Donald, because that's what they say in Canada. Idiot. Here, play this clip.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, what do you think about the UK getting into business with China? Keir Starmer is in Beijing.
Well, it's very dangerous for them to do that, and it's even more dangerous, I think, for Canada to get into business with China. Canada is not doing well. They're doing very poorly. And you can't look at China as the answer. I know China very well. I know President Xi's a friend of mine. I know him very well. But that's a big hurdle to go over when you get Canada. The first thing they're going to do is say you're not allowed to play ice hockey anymore. That's not good. Canada's not going to like that.
More from the Melania premiere right here. Donald Trump was asked, why was Tulsi Gabbard with the FBI when there was a raid of the Fulton County, Georgia election offices and the 2020 ballots were taken? What were you doing there, Donald? And he goes, oh, she's working very hard. We have big announcements planned. Yes, Donald, we know you're going to try to shut down the midterms because you're an authoritarian fascist who deploys Gestapo on the streets, which is why we the people need to stand up to you. Play this clip.
Life in the White House. It's a big deal, actually.
What was Tulsi Gabbard doing at an election center in Georgia today?
She's working very hard on trying to keep the election safe, and she's done a very good job. And they, as you know, they got into the votes. They signed judge's order in Georgia, and you see some interesting things happening. They've been trying to get there for a long time.
Will they keep pulling back immigration?
And then Donald Trump admits, for the first time publicly, what we all knew, that the Ayatollah in Iran has massacred thousands of people in Iran, which we all knew. But didn't Donald Trump say at the beginning of this year that if Iran killed a single protester, that Donald Trump would immediately go in guns a-blazing? And didn't Donald Trump tell all of the protesters in Iran, go out, we've got your back? They went out. Donald Trump didn't have their back. Thousands were massacred, as he now admits. And here yet again, Donald Trump brags that he stopped 837 hangings 2 weeks ago. He goes, but I stopped 837 hangings. The reality is, Donald, you did not have your carrier group in the location of the Persian Gulf or anywhere near Iran because you were busy invading Venezuela, and you told the protesters in Iran you had their back, and you walked them into a massacre. Then you didn't do anything. And now you have a aircraft carrier group there to invade after everyone's been massacred, and no one knows what the hell you're doing. And the UAE and the Saudis aren't allowing you to use their airspace. Another disaster. Play this clip.
Well, I told them two things. Number one, no nuclear. And number two, stop killing protesters. They're killing them by the thousands. You know, I stopped 837 hangings 2 weeks ago. But they're going to have to do something. Nobody's seen anything like this.
Oh, by the way, here's how state regime media announced Donald Trump's $10 billion lawsuit against his own government, that Trump is suing his own Treasury Department. Yeah, because I'm sure Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is going to fight that. He's stealing our money. He's stealing billions of dollars before our eyes. This should be impeachable. This should be 25th Amendment. This guy should be prosecuted and thrown in prison for the rest of his life, this freaking criminal. How can anybody support him? He's taking your taxpayer dollars because the stuff that every president produced, he's angry got produced in 2019 when he was not as, when he was not even all that rich back then. And now he's sucked up all of this wealth by grifting off the White House and grifting off the Oval Office. Here's how they talk about it on state regime media. Play this clip.
The Fox News alert, President Trump is suing the IRS now for $10 billion for allegedly leaking his tax returns. And moments ago on the red carpet for the premiere of Melania's new movie, he dropped this bombshell.
Dave, will you be announcing your Fed chair pick next week?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Oh.
And do you know who you picked?
Tomorrow I do. Otherwise, I'll have to go to work very quickly. No, I'll be announcing the Fed chair tomorrow morning.
Wow, more on all.
And contrast Donald Trump's frivolous lawsuits with the lawsuit just filed by California Governor Gavin Newsom. Newsom files a civil rights complaint against Dr. Oz over fraud video. Dr. Oz went into LA and started attacking the Armenian community and basically saying all Armenians are involved in home health care and hospice care fraud. He was in front of the Lavash, the bakery in Los Angeles. And again, Dr. Oz, of Turkish descent, who lots of Armenians were very, had serious questions about his relationships with the Turkey government and whether or not he was actually an agent on their behalf or not. He goes in there, discriminates against the Armenian community, and Governor Newsom announced that there needs to be an immediate civil rights investigation in California into the Trump regime's and Dr. Oz's discrimination of Armenians. Oh, and by the way, Melania was asked, and Trump was asked, how do you make sense of the fact, how should the American people feel that Jeff Bezos gave Melania $40 million to do this film, plus $30 million in promotion, while also Amazon cut 16,000 jobs? You think the American people who are struggling like this, Donald? And Donald goes, Obama. It's Obama's fault. Obama did it too. Obama didn't do it. Obama, what do you? Oh, yeah, we all know about the great movie Michelle that went out during the Obama administration, and that a real rich person, when Obama was president, that's what their priorities were. No, when Michelle Obama, First Lady during the term, was talking about making healthier recommendations for lunch, that's where you were all like, the government is treading on me. Michelle Obama said we need to eat healthier. You're going to take away all our rights. While you send the Gestapo through our streets now, murdering and terrorizing citizens and people in this country. Here, play this clip.
I want to see that also.
And Mr. President, what do you say to those that are critical of the fact that Amazon paid $40 million to acquire the rights of this movie?
Well, I think they'd have to go and ask President Obama, who got paid a lot of money and hasn't done anything. So I think they probably have to go because if you take a look at others, they've been paid a lot of money. But this is somebody, Melania, who really produced. She's done a great thing. This is a very important piece of work.
What do you hope people learn?
I'm going to do another video on this morning of Canada standing up to the despicable Trump regime, trying to encourage separatist movements to have Alberta secede. We'll talk about that as well. But I'll leave you with this contrast, right? You saw there Donald Trump, Melania, blaming Obama for Jeff Bezos giving Melania $70 million, $40 million base for licensing, $30 million in promotion. And then when Donald Trump at a cabinet meeting earlier was asked about bringing down house prices, he's like, I don't want to bring down, I only want to keep the prices up for wealthy people. That's the American dream. All you low income people, you can't get this. This isn't for you. What a despicable person. Play this clip.
And existing housing, people that own their homes, we're going to keep them wealthy. We're going to keep those prices up. We're not going to destroy the value of their homes so that somebody that didn't work very hard can buy a home. We're going to make it easier to buy. We're going to get interest rates down. But I want to protect the people that for the first time in their lives feel good about themselves. They feel like that they're wealthy people. And I want them to understand it. There's so much talk about, we're going to drive housing prices down. I don't want to drive housing prices down. I want to drive housing prices up for people that own their homes. And they can be assured that's what's going to happen.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks for watching.
New Meidas merch. Head to store.MeidasTouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.